Hey, hey, hey. Today we're going to convert a recipe from traditional version to graphic. Now, that recipe is Mom's Peanut Butter Puffs, and it is a pretty simple recipe. It's not easy to make, but it is simple. Okay. Um, some of you are still having difficulties creating graphic format from scratch. So I thought I'd make a list of the steps to help you out with that. So here's the document right here. It's called How to Convert to Graphic Format. And I think that this might help you. I don't know. But I got some changes to make. All right. So step one is count the ingredients. And by the way, you can use this for any time I give you a convert to graphic recipe. This will always work. Let me get my spelling right. Okay. Step one, count ingredients and add one for the title and as many as needed for the pre-steps. Okay, so we're going to look at the original recipe and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 ingredients. We're going to add 1 for the pre-step and 1 for the title. So we're going to have 6 rows. Okay, so just make a mental note, 6 rows. Then we're going to count the steps and add 1 for the ingredients column. So here's the steps, 5, and we're going to add 1 to that. So 6 columns, and what did I say? 6 rows. So this particular recipe is going to be 6 by 6. So when we build our recipe document, I should have had this open for you in advance. I apologize. Okay, now I'm assuming you know how to build a table at this point, but if you don't, insert table. Now the size of the table is helpful in the beginning, but don't freak out because if you don't know exactly right, if you don't get it exactly right, because you can always add cells, rows, and columns easily, but it's a good idea to start off with what you need. So we're going to insert table, and what did I say? 6 by 6. So there's 6 rows, and can't even do it. There we go. 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. That's steps 1 and 2, or 3 actually. Build a table based on the above numbers. Step 4, merge top row for title. Okay, and this is going to be every time we do a graphic recipe. We're going to do this. We're going to highlight those cells, format, table, merge cells. That's where our title is going to be. And we are going to do step 5, merge pre-step rows as needed. We only have one pre-step, so we're going to merge that. Format, table, merge cells. Boom. All right, so I think you should be able to copy and paste on this particular recipe. So we're going to go Control C, title here. Oh, it's kind of bulky, but whatever. And then our pre-step is here. Control copy, Control V. I don't know why it's putting all those empty spaces in there. Anyhow, if you want to leave them in there, you can. Let's see, what does this say? No, if you want to leave them in there, you can do that. Let me just get my grammar figured out here. Or you can, if you don't want all that extra space in there, you can just type it in instead of copying and pasting. All right, but I'm not going to waste time, excuse me, on that. Now our next step, we counted, we built our table, excuse me. We merged step 4, we merged step 5. Step 6, place ingredients, 1 per cell in the table. Okay, it's very important that when you do a graphic recipe that you only have 1 ingredient per cell. A lot of new students are having trouble with this. They're trying to put all the ingredients in 1 cell. No, it's 1 ingredient per cell. So you take your top ingredient, and the order is important. Whether it's a graphic or traditional recipe, it's always important to use the things you use first or at the top. I'm going to pause this for just a second and see if I can fix this issue. Okay, I think I figured out the problem. There was some formatting in the original document, which came from more original documents. So as I transferred it from a Microsoft document to a Google Doc, it got some format stuck in there. All right, so I've deleted that format. So here's the document you'll be getting. And I'll just make this a little bit bigger here. And there's no extra spaces or anything in there. So as you copy and paste, it should work nicely for you. Okay. Now, I didn't do the last one, so you can watch me do that. So there's my half cup of peanut butter. Control C. And Control V. All right. Just because I like it that way, I'm going to center my title. And if you look up here, there's options for left align, center align, right align, and justify. I'm going to go center align, and I'm going to put a period there. Okay, so now what we have is our title, our pre-step, all of our ingredients. So that is up to number 6, step 6. Place ingredients 1 per cell in the table. I did that. All right, now 7, we're going to add procedure step by step, moving right. So our first step, and we know it's our first step because it says step 1. Control copy. Using the whisk attachment on the highest speed, beat egg whites and salt to form soft peaks. So our first step is going to go right here. And it's gotten very big. And that's because it's got some format thing going. So we're just going to backspace there. Again, you can type it out if you want to. It's very narrow and tall. So I'm going to make it a little bit wider here. This is up to you, of course. All right, that makes it look a little bit better. Using the whisk attachment on highest speed, beat egg whites and salt. Because this direction here involves egg whites and salt, it needs to go next to the egg whites and salt. So I've got to merge these 2 cells together. Format, table, merge cells, boom. This direction involves 2 ingredients, so it's next to 2 items. Some of you guys, when you make your tables, you got directions going all over the place. You got directions going down here, and I don't know what's going on. The direction for these ingredients must be next to these ingredients. Otherwise, the whole purpose of the graphic recipe is wasted. All right, step 2. Very gradually add sugar and beet to soft peaks. We were in the classroom, I would go over soft peaks and explain to you how it worked, explain to you what they are and how to do them, but we're not doing that right now. So that involves, let's look at it again. Add sugar. What are we adding sugar to? Our egg white and salt. So our direction must be next to our egg whites and salt and sugar. Okay. But let me stop you there. We're going to make an L shape because we're going to add the sugar. Here, let's do this for now. Let's just merge these two. All right. We're going to add the sugar into this. So picture this as like a bowl. And we're going to dump our sugar into the bowl. So that's why we need an L shape. An L shape shows that we're adding something to something that already exists. Now, what we've made here, soft peaks, is a type of a meringue. So we're going to add our sugar into the meringue. And we do that, we represent that by an L shape. Now, if you guys remember, I've said this over and over again, but I'm going to say it again. Google Docs only allows you to make an L shape if you first merge your horizontal rows, format table, merge cells, then your, is that right? Then you white out your horizontal line, format table, and then reset. I'm sorry, refresh, not reset. All right, so there is an L. Many people try this, and I don't know how many times I have to say it. They try and make, I'll give you an example here. They try and merge these together and then merge these together and white out this vertical line. And Google Documents will not let you do that. So you've got to follow directions and do it the way that I've told you. All right, so now here we can put our direction in there. Again, it's made it very long. Where's it gone? I'm going to make it a little bit wider because it's got some sort of, because of its, here's why it's doing that. Because this is it's got all the space in here, and it's automatically made a numbered list. Well, let's put a whole bunch of space in the final document too. Not to worry, just backspace and get rid of all that space. All right, so very gradually add sugar and beet to stiff peaks. So the sugar, because the L, means we're going to add it into the bowl. All right, let's look at our next step. Oh, we're still working on step 7. Okay. With your rubber spatula, slowly fold peanut butter into meringue. Control C. Now, is this an L shape again? Yes, because we're going to add the peanut butter into our next bowl. And if you guys remember, once again, to make an L, first you make your horizontal line, format table, your horizontal cell. Then you do your vertical, format table, merge cells, and then you white out your horizontal between them. Google Docs does not want you to have an L shape, so we have to sort of trick it. And the way we do that is by whiting out that horizontal line. Now we have an L shape again. Look how easy that is. Only if you follow directions. You start not paying attention or going out of order, it will not work. Now I'm going to type in the next step, and it's probably going to make it very tall. Not to worry. Back up to the top. Drag this over a little bit. Get rid of this formatting. Now, if you were to type these words in instead of copying and pasting, this wouldn't do that. It wouldn't make it so very wide so that it takes several pages, but it's up to you what you want to do. We also have a different size font, but we can fix that later. All right, with your rubber spatula, slowly fold peanut butter into the meringue. So here's my peanut butter, and it's going into the bowl. That's what the L shape is for. We're saying we're adding this into something that's already there. Step 4, drop by teaspoon onto greased baking sheet. Control C, document. Now, all my ingredients are together. I've used all of my ingredients. So from here on out, unless I split the recipe in half for some reason, we have single columns, no more L's. Format, table, merge cells. We're not adding anything new in. We're doing a different step, but we're not adding a new ingredient, so no more L's. And I'm going to drag this over because it's going to get messy again. Control V is my document. And where did it go? Let's see if we can figure out. There we go. Drop by teaspoons onto greased baking sheet. Now we'll clean that up a little bit later. Let's look at my last step. Bake at 325 for 15 to 18 minutes. Okay, do we need an L there? Are we adding a new ingredient? No, we've used all of our ingredients. There's nothing else to add. So we're going to merge those together. Format, table, merge cells. And then we're going to put inside of there our last direction. It's gone wonky again, but if I just put my cursor here, backspace, we'll put all the words in there. All right, so let's look at our next step and how to convert. And, I've gone out of order with steps 8 and 9. Maybe I should, let's put step 8, control copy in front of here. And then make this step 9. There we go. Do our L shapes first. Okay, so now we're going to remove ingredients from procedure unless there's confusion. Okay, let's see. Using the whisk attachment at highest speed, we don't need to restate egg whites and salt because they're there. So we're going to delete those, otherwise it's redundant. Part of the reason we make a graphic recipe is to get rid of all these words that keep repeating. If we're going to have a bunch of words, we might as well just do traditional. Okay, using the whisk attachment on the highest speed, beat to form soft peaks. What are we going to beat? Everything between this line here and this line there, which is the egg whites and salt. Next step, very gradually add sugar. Do we need the word sugar there? No, the word sugar is there. Just like we don't restate the measurements, on a graphic recipe, we don't need to restate the ingredients. So we're going to delete the word sugar. Very gradually add and beat to stiff peaks. Next step, with your rubber spatula, slowly fold peanut butter into meringue. Peanut butter is here, so we don't need to restate it as here. So let's get rid of peanut butter. Delete. Okay, with your rubber spatula, slowly fold into meringue. Okay. Next step, drop by teaspoons onto greased baking sheet. There's no new ingredients. We only have one ingredient at this point. By the time our cookie batter is mixed together, we don't need to specify because there's only one thing. So there's no need to delete any ingredients there. Okay, let's add step 10. Clean up broken words. Clean up broken words. Let's see. Adjust font size. Okay, so technically this is correct, but we need to do one other thing here. Let's see where to, excuse me. Clean up broken words, adjust font size, adjust cell sizes. All right, so, okay, this kind of cell is a little bit wide and I need some more space over there. So if I want to, I can click on this line and drag it over like that. Using the whisk attachment, comma, on the highest speed, comma, beat, form soft peaks. All right. Now, this cell here, I'm trying to make room for this cell here. One thing we can do is just make the whole thing wider. So if I want to drag this over to the right, we can do that. And that'll save a lot of space or time. With your rubber spatula, fold into meringue. We don't have any words broken up. That's good. Drop by T. We have broken up word here, so we got to do something about that. I'm reminded that I told you earlier that our font sizes were two different. We have 11 size font here and a 16 size font here. Let's make it all 11. We're going to make it 11. All right. Now everything's the same font size. We can make this 16 if you like. Make sure none of our words are broken up. All right. And that is our graphic recipe. Let's look at our checklist. Oops, wrong one. We cleaned up our broken words, adjusted our font size, and adjusted cell sizes as needed. We have else, signify we're adding something in each time we add a new ingredient in. This one, there's nothing added, so we don't need an L shape. And here we don't need an L shape as well. All right, that is how you do it.